days that I haven't seen here in many, many years. And not because we lost to a team that played really good. And let's make sure, man, I love Chris Collins. I think he's done a hell of a job here. I think he's a very good coach, and his team deserves the credit. But I said to him after, he said a couple of nice things to me, and I said, boy, that didn't look like the standard of the Big Ten. It didn't look like, we did not play. You played to the level we did not. That doesn't happen very often. We've had bad shooting nights. We've had some bad turnover nights. But boy, tonight, we're just gonna have to work our way out of it. Is it the COVID season? Is it finals? Is it, there can be a million excuses, and maybe some of them are valid, but it doesn't matter because everybody else got the same thing. So we're just gonna have to straighten it out.
I get it. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome.
Go to Jack Ebling.
Tom, if you combine the accuracy from the field, 3-point range, and the line, the difference is more than 69%. You're more concerned with the defense on Boo Buie or with the lack of second chance points?
Jack, the second chance points are effort related too. I'm more disappointed in the effort, and that's kind of calling your team out. But, we've shot 29% and won a game.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme nor reason for that. We took some bad shots, but we had some great, how many layups we missed in the first 5 minutes? At halftime, we had missed 6 layups. 6 layups. That's 12 points. What we down, 13?
Yeah.
6 layups. I mean, one of my best players missed 3 of them. And so, I don't look at that the same way. I don't blame you guys for looking at it because everybody looks at offense and everybody thinks I look at defense. I don't even look at the defense. I look at the effort related to what they were supposed to do and did we do our job. Well, the first job that wasn't done was by the head coach because his job is to make sure a team is ready to play. And then the individuals within that group have to make sure they do their job. So I got to look at myself and say my team wasn't ready to play. And that's my job. So I got to do my job. They got to do their job. We'll work it out.
Next question is from Brendan Quinn.
Tom, I got 2 for you if you're all right. Is there any concern that Rocket is maybe swimming a little bit? And do you worry at all that maybe him trying to do what he's doing is affecting his defense at all?
Nobody's given Rocket more credit than me in the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And, he's a sophomore. I've got juniors that had worse nights than him. So, no, I don't look at that stuff. Swimming, you took a couple bad shots, but like you said, what's that got to do with your defense? And he's been a very good defender. It wasn't all him. What's Bowie didn't get all his points on him. But I had 2 guys. I thought Kithier played pretty good. Malik Hall played okay. Foster Lawyer played pretty good. I didn't have many other guys that played very good. And you're not going to win a Big Ten game if you don't have, a lot of your key people. I don't care how much depth you have. So I don't really think it's that. I think what you learn this day and age, if people don't have success, how do they handle it? And it's getting harder to figure out how they handle it. And we're going to figure it out. Got a good team, like I said. It wasn't like there was a bunch of holes. The holes were, we didn't play hard enough. And that doesn't happen very often, and it could be a million reasons. And that's what's going to be the hardest. Maybe my guys, we're talking about having parents up for Christmas, there's so many things out there right now that maybe that was it. So maybe in fairness to them, I should understand that. So I'll meet with him, talk to him, figure it out, watch the film. But I don't look at our offensive woes. You know, we came into the game shooting 48, 36 from the three, 77 from the line. We came into the game one of the worst points allowed, bottom half of field goal percentage defense, bottom half of three-point percentage defense. That's our problem. We did not guard anybody, so then we didn't run as good. I don't even know what the rebound totals were, 33 to 32. But I guess when you shoot what we shot, there's more rebounds for them to get. We still got 11 offensive boards, not bad. But we just didn't guard. I can't say it any better.
And late game, there was like 2 minutes left or whatever. Maybe you were down double digits, but it wasn't totally out of reach, and you made some substitutions that you went a little deeper into your bench. I didn't know if that was you wanting guys to have to kind of sit there and watch the end of it, or if there was anything.
Yeah, we got an agreement. I mean, if you don't play good, no problem. You turn the ball over, don't like it, but no problem. You miss shots, no problem. You don't want to give the effort that is needed to play at this level, it's a problem. So I didn't want to keep people in there, and I didn't give up on the game. I thought a couple of those guys deserves some opportunities, but more importantly, I'm not going to condone the kind of play we had tonight by leaving guys in there, if that makes any sense.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
All right, we have two final questions. We'll go to Chris Solari and wrap up with Fred Heumann. Chris?
Yeah, I was going to ask a little bit kind of what Jack said about Bowie in particular, especially with what he did here last year. I mean, is there a frustration point with that, knowing that these guys have seen him and what he has done to this team before?
Yeah. I think he got 26 last year, right? So we held him to 30 this year. And I thought he played really good. I thought he played within himself. I seen him play some games where he got a little wild. I thought he took all but maybe one or two good shots, and I heard Chris getting on him about those. I thought he did a pretty good job. That is frustrating because you'd want somebody to take the bull by the horns, which I've had before, but nobody rose up on that. And, I did think we had a pretty good game plan. I really did. We just didn't execute it at all. And that's all I can tell you on that. But I don't know.
You also mentioned about the boards in particular. It seemed like in the first half, Foster had, I think, 4 for you guys, and that was the high mark. But out of the break, it seemed like there was a little more of a concerted effort from you guys to go and crash a little bit more. Do you feel like that?
Malik got 4 offensive, but you're right about Foster. I mean, he gets 5 rebounds for the game. Joey had 2, and Josh had 2, and Aaron had 3, and we didn't. Those are all effort-related stats. Those are what we're usually really good at. And tonight, we were awful at them. And they kind of all fit together. Aaron said something good at halftime. We got to do what this program does. We got to defend, rebound, and run. I told him that in the last 2 minutes when Brendan asked me why, I said, you can talk it, but you got to do it. And we didn't do it tonight. So, no quarterback controversy. I think I'm going to keep Wentz and not worry about the 100 million. I'm just going to try to get my team better.
We'll wrap up with Fred Heumann. Fred?
Fred, it's your fault. Since you started working again, we're 0-1. So now I finally found the reason that I can use on why we didn't play as good. Didn't think it was funny, huh, Fred?
He's muted. Fred, you're muted.
Why would that surprise me?
I thought you could hear me earlier. Do you hear me?
We hear you now.
All right. Yeah, I was laughing in the background. Hey, every time you lose a game, everyone's looking for reasons, and sometimes you just get punched in the gut. Do you think with everything going so smoothly so far and winning every game that, never mind the press clippings, that the team got a little too comfortable in their own skin?
I don't think it went smoothly. I mean, if you would have saw our morning, or if you would have saw finals, there's nothing smooth right now. I mean, we're having discussions on parents and whether we're going to be able to let the parents into the game, and nothing's smooth, guys. But nothing's been smooth since the start. And we've played, better. Now, we have had a problem defensively, and yet you look at some of those games, it's finishing. We're 28 up on Notre Dame and 16 up with 2 minutes left, and we give them 3 threes. We give Oakland and Detroit 3 threes at the end. We gave Duke, they hit 2 threes in the last 13 seconds. So that changes those games a little bit, and changes we played pretty good defense in most of those games, but it changes the shooting percentages and all that. But, in all honesty, a couple of those teams took tough shots. These were open shots. The guy, Williams at Oakland, he made tough shots. There were times I said that was great, D, and he just made the shot. Tonight, I didn't think anybody made a tough shot. I thought they made open shots. And like I said, it was the coverages that, whether we were going to trail ball screens or step up on them or switch them, what we were going to do, we just, we looked out of sync. And I have not seen any complacency as far as thinking we're better than we are. But, I don't know what these kids, I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know what's happening. And we're 6-1, we're, a tough loss, bad loss to a team that I think is going to win some games. And as disappointed as I am with our effort related items, I'm also very appreciative on how well Northwestern played, not only offensively, but defensively. And I think that was the difference in the game. So, yeah, there is punches in the gut. This was one that's going to last, because it was something I'm not used to seeing. But this whole year is something I'm not used to seeing. So I just got to get back to work, and we'll do our job and get ready for Christmas Day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Coach, that's it. Thanks for your
All right.
time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, our last interview tonight will be Malik Hall. We'll take questions for Malik in the chat. We'll start with Chris Solari.
Hey, Malik, I guess, what was the halftime conversation like with you guys? And in that first half, what do you think from an effort standpoint was going wrong?
Hey, hold on a second, Malik. You're muted there. There you go.
That's fine. I think from an effort standpoint, we just weren't focused in on the scout. The coaches gave us the scout. They told us what we need to do to cover certain people, and we didn't cover the scout well enough. When we came in the locker room, everyone knew what the problem was, and everybody knew that we were missing coverages on our scout, and that's kind of what it was. It was, we need to do better, and we need to try harder.
Our next question will go to Matt Charbonneau.
Malik, when you're coming off the bench and you see some of those breakdowns in the first minute or two of the game, what is it you can do when you come in a few minutes in? Are you trying to make up for those, or are you trying to bring energy? What's your approach when you see those breakdowns early when you come off the bench?
Just do my job and communicating to people who are having breakdowns, just try and help them as much as I can, so that tell them what I saw when I'm coming off the bench and when I was watching from not being in the game, and just let them know, like, hey, this is a coverage that we need to fix. And if I'm involved in it, just making sure that I don't mess up either when I step on the floor.
And I know too, in that second half, you guys had a little run. You brought a lot of energy there, but when you start a game like that and get in that hole and you have those mistakes, how tough is it to get a whole team to pull yourselves out of that?
Something that we're just gonna have to work on as a group, and no matter how much we get down, still have that winning and fighting attitude, no matter what.
Our next question will go to Kyle Austin.
Hey, Malik, you guys had obviously had the week off before this, coming in, a lot of practice time in. I guess how surprising was it for you guys to come out and kind of have that performance when you guys had? I know you probably felt ready coming in.
I mean, it's kind of upsetting, we just got to work harder in practice now, make sure that we get everything locked in that we need to get locked in, and just continue to grind.
All right. Next question will go to Lindsey Huddleston.
Thank you, Malik. You guys have been riding a high, number 4 in the nation, 6-0 at the time. From a player perspective, and what are the players feeling right now? What are you guys going through? And from what you know of your team, what are you going to do next individually to kind of get things back on the right track?
We're gonna work. Honestly, no matter where we were ranked at before this, and no matter where we were ranked, we know where we messed up, and we know what we have to do to fix it. And we're gonna have to put in that time as a group. Every individual has their own things that they're gonna need to work on, but as a group, everybody will know what everybody else has to work on. So it's just holding each other accountable and making sure that we reach that goal as a team.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'll go to Brendan Quinn.
Malik, when Tom was on with us, he used words like disgusting and inept in kind of describing this game and the performance as a whole. And I wonder if part of you is at all curious to kind of see how this group responds, not from a loss, but maybe from a humbling kind of experience like I imagine this was.
For me personally, I want us to just get up for everybody we play. I don't want us to get up for only people who are ranked highly or people who are this and who are that. And I want us to go at everybody like they're the best team in the country. Like, no matter, we're in second place all the time, and that we're the team that we're gonna play, the team in first place. That's how I want us to view it. And I hope that we can make that adjustment from this loss after we watch film and get some work in.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll wrap up for Malik with a question from Chris Solari.
Malik, I know that you obviously want to turn the page quickly, but you have obviously finals week last week and now Christmas week this week and a game on Christmas Day. How do you, I guess, kind of hone in that focus, knowing that the next few days with maybe the situation with the parents and everything else, how do you kind of keep that focus solely on basketball and improving right now with a big game coming up?
I honestly think that the parents coming in and being Christmas week won't really change much for a lot of us, just because we're all pissed off about this loss and we know we got embarrassed. We know what we have to do. And I think that our one main focus, no matter what happens this next week, will be to get a win on Christmas Day and to continue to get it rolling back in.
All right, Malik, that's all we have for you tonight. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, and that's going to wrap us up here for tonight. Thanks, Max.
Thank you, Matt.
See everybody.